listening in on PSN Radio. Right now, we are joined by my guest of the evening, Mr. Tha Michaels, and his lovely assistant, co-host, friend, perhaps more, Miss Zee Michaels. You're both on the line. Welcome to the Jackal's Head. How are you folks?
Hey, thanks, man. How's it going?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great, man. I'm so excited to have the two of you on here. Of course, I've had UFO Phil on here a few weeks back, and that was just an amazing experience. The audience loved UFO Phil. But, you know, you guys have been doing...
He's all right.
He's a cool cat. He's a cool cat, UFO Phil.
You know, he's all right. He's all right.
Phil's a great guy.
One thing about him, though, he does have, this weird relationship with Zaxxon, the good alien, which is kind of borderline bizarre, isn't it?
Can I ask you a question, man, first? On this little show of yours that you're doing right here, can I cuss, or is that off limits?
Fuck yeah.
All right, so let's just be fucking honest here. UFO Phil is a fucking crackpot, okay?
He is not. He's a really good boss.
I don't know.
And he stands by his convictions.
Is he the boss? Is he the boss? Like, does he run? Because I know that Les here is a director of the film UFO Phil the movie. So I was assuming that Les was running the game, but I keep hearing Zee Michaels say that UFO Phil is the boss. So what's going on here?
Well, basically, the apprentice became the master, is what happened. And UFO Phil, he used to be loaded, man. He used to have, tons of money and crap. And that's back when he was up in Spokane. And he lost everything because of unpaid taxes and a bunch of stupid crap that he was pulling on the side that nobody knew about. All the property was seized, including my entire wardrobe, which, I barely had enough time to get out of there before the feds showed up. So I lost everything. And so now... I'm trying to, I did my own thing for a couple of years, and now I'm trying to set up shop here out in Pebble Beach, and I got myself a nice mansion, a pretty cush gig going here.
It's not Pebble Beach, it's Big Sur.
It's Pebble Beach here,
close,
California. Close. What's that?
It's close. It's in California.
Yeah, well, I'm Big Sur down there. Big Sur, a bunch of dirty hippie fucks. Here in Pebble Beach, it's where the rich people, movie stars like myself, live in all the houses. I mean, you're like, $5-10 million homes. Mine's 15.
Just $15,000
million. And so now basically I'm calling the shots. This is my house. I agreed to do Phil's little stupid show and his little videos from time to time. And other than that, it's the Tha Michaels show. And I got my groovy assistant here, of course, Zee Michaels, who's pretty friggin' hot. And have you met Zee Michaels?
Of course. Zee Michaels is hot. That's one thing I wanted to touch on. I mean, there is a lot of talk of possible DNA being swapped between the two, maybe sharing DNA. What's going on? Are you guys related or not?
I'm not aware of any DNA samples being shared. If anyone's collecting DNA and testing it, I mean, I haven't been told. But there is no relation between Tha Michaels and I.
Well, no, wait a minute. It really depends on how you define relations, because
let's define relation.
Well, we have the same last name, all right?
Right.
But we're not like brother and sister. So as far as like the stuff that we do together, behind closed doors, it's shut up. It's not really. It wouldn't be considered incest or anything. So I just want to make that clear right now.
There's nothing we would do that would be, even if we were related, be considered incest. If we don't do anything.
Well,
in fact, I don't even actually work for you. I work for Phil. We work together.
You don't work for Phil. Nobody works for Phil. Phil's broke.
You're broke.
What? Come on now. She's hot. See, I let her get away with it because she's hot. You've seen her.
Oh, yeah. I think, look, if you guys are not, doing anything, you're really missing out, man, because she is very hot. Have you tried?
Have I tried? Dude, I'm telling you. I've got pictures of it.
You and I got to talk after the show. But anyway, moving on.
I'll see you some pictures.
What are these pictures you're talking about?
Number 5 remember the pictures we took?
There are no pictures.
Number 5 is a good one. That really gets my best side and your best side in the same shot, which is really hard to do when you've got the camera set up, 10 feet away, hidden behind the bookshelf. On
What are you talking about?
I'll show you. You forgot already? All right. We'll talk amongst ourselves, but I'll be emailing you some photos, man.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Now, Zee, how did you get hooked up with UFO Phil and with Les over here?
Sorry, I took just a gigantic bite of my dinner. I didn't think you were going to ask me anything. I found Phil when he, it was brought to my attention that he had posted an ad on Craigslist looking for a personal assistant. And I went through some rigorous pre-qualifications and that stuff, and interviewed and got the job.
Yeah, she interviewed. Not with Phil, though, man.
We know how that goes.
Yeah. Some of that stuff. You've seen some of that video. You should see the you should see the hidden tracks, man. You should see the special features.
What special
features?
Share
that you know the one video that we did in the bushes. That was a good one. Anyway, yeah, sorry, man. I just she's sitting right across from me, and she's just wearing like this little lacy thing from Victoria's Secret, and I had to get some pictures of this crap because she is hot. You don't have an idea how hot she really is, man. Pants.
No, you know what?
Pants.
I have a feeling that video doesn't do her any justice.
Yeah, well, she's just so hot, man. And just, I mean, she is so gorgeous, and when you get her in the sack, she is a lot of these hot chicks. A lot of these hot chicks I've been with, and I've been with a few, especially with being the movie star and the kind of work I do down in Hollywood. A lot of these hot chicks, they don't know how to move it, groove it, but she is exceptional.
Aren't most of your co-stars men?
The movies that I do, bring in a lot of money.
Mostly men.
There's a few.
Let's talk about the videos you do, because I've been sent some of your work, and I must say you're very professional. Unfortunately, in some of the videos, you really don't see your face much. You see more of like your backside, and what's up with that?
Well, initially it was just part of the contract. They wanted to kind of keep everything sort of more mysterious. You know what I mean? It's part of the first series. I don't know which video you ended up with, but the first series of videos I did was kind of like this whole Zorro theme where we have the mask and all you see is my eyes. Except instead of just the eye mask, they actually wanted to put this thing over my entire head, and they just put little holes for my eyes. Yeah, and they gave me the scythe, and it was really weird. And at first, being my first film, I didn't really know what to make of it. But then eventually I started getting into the groove, and I realized that, that this is really the future of cinema. This the kind of stuff that we're doing. Then we moved on to the scuba films, and it's amazing. You'd be surprised at how buoyant certain parts of the anatomy can be in salt water.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to write that down next time I'm in salt water. I'm gonna have to pay more attention.
You can do it at home. You need a very big container. Well, depending, you might need a small container for yourself. I mean,
no. I think large container is about right. Big one. Big.
Yeah, maybe.
Real big container. I'm a big guy. Big container.
Are you hairy? Are you a hairy man?
No, actually, I'm bald-headed. Completely bald. Shave everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere, if you catch what I'm saying, Z. Everywhere.
See, I don't trust guys with no hair. I mean, this is really creepy. This is the problem I have with UFO Phil. You just can't.
Bald.
I know.
It's beautiful. Bald is beautiful.
Bald is crazy.
It is not.
It could be construed as crazy. You know what's crazy though? UFO Phil, of course, has this plan now to build pyramids on Alcatraz and in other parts of the world. What's your take on that? Is he going to succeed? Is the planet's moving on with that? What's going on with that?
That crap's never going to happen. Let's be honest. I mean, I've seen the behind the scenes of this. It's not that he's not trying. He is on the phone night and day trying to get the hookups going on to get this stuff built. But it's so fundamentally insane. First of all, I don't even believe in aliens. And he's trying to tell people, he's calling up like congressmen and stuff and trying to tell them the aliens are coming on June 10th, and they're bringing this whole fleet of ships, and that he's got all these, diagrams and plans, and they want him to build these pyramids in these various places around the country and around the world, and they're going to land their ships on these pyramids. And now he's got this plan. He hasn't even announced this yet. I'm not even supposed to say anything, but I've overheard some of the conversations. And let me just tell you, his latest plan that he's about to talk about coming up in February.
Are you at liberty to discuss that?
Well, I'm not discussing it.
Don't stop him. Go ahead.
Are you at liberty to insinuate?
Well, I'm not giving any details. But let me just tell you that the sculpture that he has been working on is fucking insane. This is going to put the pyramids to shame as far as like ridiculosity. Emphasis on dick.
Ridiculosity is not a word.
It's totally a word.
It's not a word.
He just made that up.
You look it up.
This is Les Michaels. He can make up words if he wants. Go ahead, Les.
Yeah, man, you gotta see this. What are you handing me the plate for? Hold on a second.
Put it with your plate.
Why are you handing me a plate? You're the assistant. You make the dinner. I'm
not your assistant.
Do the dishes.
Your mom does dishes.
Work for me. You gotta, man. I'm telling you. Do I call you Jackal? Do I call you Head?
You can call me the Head.
There's the Head. So.
No, you can call me Jackal. Call me Jackal.
All right, Jackal. The Jackal.
Yes.
So, you see these pyramids. He wants to build like this full-size pyramid of Giza on top of, like, say, for example, Pikes Peak in Colorado. It's already a tall mountain. He wants to make it bigger. Aliens are supposed to land there, and then the pyramids are supposed to be some sort of weird alien refueling station, and then somehow fucking beam energy around the world for humans to use too. It's the most ridiculous thing. Steven Spielberg couldn't have come up with a more ridiculous plot idea. And Phil believes it. He is serious. And for people who think that maybe he's just joking, you have not seen the diagrams. And he has got some serious blueprints. He's working with these designers, these, what do you call them, these engineers. These guys are as crazy as Phil is. Either that or they're just, I don't know what their motivation might be. But they seem to be as crazy as he is. They've drawn up these plans. They want to build... I'm not supposed to tell you what they want to build, but he's going to announce it coming up in February, and it is beyond anything you've ever seen from this nut job. I mean, it is...
It's not a nut job.
He's complete.
Why do you hang out with him?
Zee, come on, knock it off.
Why do you hang out with him?
He sounds strangely brilliant, the way he comes up with these concepts.
But
Les, you're there with him. You've been in the trenches with this guy. You've known him for a long time. You're his friend. Have you seen Zaxxon? Have you ever met any of the aliens? Have you been abducted? Have you had any of the stuff that he talks about that happens to him happen to you?
I've seen the drawings that he's made of quote-unquote Zaxxon. It's ridiculous. Usually he draws these things with crayons. I've seen conversations that he has with himself sitting in a corner facing the wall with an old broken dial phone up to his ear that's not even plugged into anything, and he thinks he's talking to Zaxxon. I'm telling you, man, people think that he's a little bit twisted when they watch some of his videos. Some people believe him. Some people think he's a little bit nuts. He's not just a little bit nuts. You don't see... I'm going to get a camera when he's not looking, and I'm going to film some of this crap, and you're going to just be amazed. They should have locked him up a long time ago. I'm not even joking, man.
His complete file and dossier does not indicate that he's delusional or anything like that.
I don't even know half the words you just said, Zee Michaels. No relation, except for that one time.
That's not surprising.
Went over my head, too. That just went right over my head.
They're
justified. The great thing, though, the Jackal, is that when she says these words, it doesn't matter that it's not English. She's got these gorgeous lips and all this lipstick, and it's just like shiny, beautiful, moist lips. And you should have seen her eat that tamale.
Tamales are hot.
Yeah.
Yes, there's lots of tapatio sauce.
Oh, tapatio. I love tapatio sauce.
She speaks Spanish, man. Yeah, tapatio.
That's so hot. Tapatio sauce. It's so good.
I see what you did there.
I used to buy that in California. That's really West Coast hot sauce, isn't it? They don't sell that here in Florida.
What do you have that's the equivalent in Florida?
The Don Shula hot sauce.
Don Shula, the former coach of the Dolphins, was that?
Has great hot sauce. Is as good as a tapatio.
Really?
Delicious.
Huh. And then you go like most other places. Most other places, you get that Louisiana stuff that I don't really like. It doesn't really have any flavor. What is that stuff? No. Tabasco? I don't like that stuff.
No, Tabasco's gross. It's really vinegary.
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's nasty stuff. Listen, is there any relation, and maybe this is why Phil called Zach or named him Zaxxon? Is there any relation to the video game you think from the 80s, the arcade game Zaxxon?
I think Phil probably used to play the game, and that's where he got the name, and then he just dropped like the video game has two X's in the middle, and then he just dropped one of the X's. I don't know. Of course, I'm dropping my X's all the time. Moving on to the next one. But you ask him about it, and he claims that the real Zaxxon, right, the real Zaxxon, this made-up space alien who's apparently made of melted crayon, he has been around for, I guess, centuries or thousands of years or some crap, and he actually at one point apparently considered suing the video game company for stealing his name. So Phil, in his head, he thinks it's the other way around.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that lawsuit actually take place. Zaxxon.
Well, if he actually, Zaxxon wouldn't show up to court, so I mean, he ain't real.
Well, absence of evidence does indicate evidence of absence. We can't really confirm or deny Zaxxon's existence.
Again, with half the words. I don't know what she said. But
what's she talking about? What?
I have no idea, man.
Adorable.
Right, yeah. It's so cute. You just want to pinch her cheek and like, oh, you're using those big words again.
You're lucky you actually get to see her. I don't right now, and I'm kind of envious.
Yeah, I'm actually touching her right now. You should see where her hand is, actually. She's touching me.
I'm not remotely touching him. I have the dog on my lap.
Yeah, that's what she calls it, right?
The hot dog. Get it?
Tapatio.
Tapatio on the hot dog, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Les,
that sounds like it could burn.
Les, what does your family think of your involvement with UFO Phil and the whole phenomenon that has become the UFO Phil?
My dad, he prefers to concentrate on, when he tells his friends what I do, he tries to avoid the whole topic of UFO Phil. He tries to focus on the films that I make. That's really his sense of pride, that I've gone out into the world and I've done good things, and he got the full Blu-ray collection, except for the first one that was only released on DVD. That didn't make it to Blu-ray.
That's kind of weird.
Why?
Well, you make people watch those movies that you're in, and
my dad likes it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah. The scuba video, the behind the scenes at the aquarium was volume 2 was the best. Really. You should see these fish, man, what they can do. They don't show you when you actually go to visit an aquarium. They don't actually show you the full capability of sea life. You have to go behind the scenes.
There are places turtles really shouldn't go.
You still there?
Yeah.
All right. The jackal.
I'm just thinking of that for a second. Turtles. No, I didn't want to think of that. But listen, are you going to be branching out and doing more directing in the near future?
Well, I do. I sort of co-direct.
You dabbled in directing with UFO Phil the movie, so are you going to be doing more of that? Yeah,
that movie was a bit. It kind of tarnished my reputation, which is why I'm doing the other stuff in the San Fernando Valley down in LA right now, to try and build up my career again. Because what happens is UFO Phil the movie. I'm trying to delete my name from that on IMDb, and I'm having some trouble. I'm not very proud. I think if you watch UFO Phil the movie, there are some good parts in it. Most of the ones where you see me.
Most of the ones with Phil.
And then there's the Phil stuff, which is just bizarre and weird, and pictures of Zaxxon drawn in crayon, and just the weird stuff that went on around there. Fake rent-a-cops and just like all kinds of strange stuff that was happening on that mountain, man.
Wait, a fake rent-a-cop? I always assumed rent-a-cops were as fake as $3 bills.
They were fake.
Yeah, I don't know what she just said. Yeah, I understood a few more words that time, but not completely.
I kind of got what you were saying. But listen, we're joined by our good friend Don Smith, who wanted to get in and say hi to you guys. Don, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, how are you guys? Hey, Les. Hey, Z. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Don Smith, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, Don. How you doing?
I'm doing better. I'm only going to be very brief because I sound like I've had dental work done, and it's been this way for the last week and will be this way for another 6 months.
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on you and your progress, man, and I tell you what, we're rooting for you, and we really hope you get this thing figured out.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing Bell's palsy is a lot of fun, and the upside is that I have been making a lot of people very much aware of the condition and what it's doing to people, and a lot of positive things are coming from this. But at the same time, I got to tell you, I have been rewatching Coast to Coast and stickam videos, and I am in tears. And I just the best thing that anybody could ever do is just kick back and laugh and just let a lot of stress out of the system. And the best way to de-stress I've been finding is just rewatching a lot of Les Michaels videos, UFO Phil videos, and really has been making my day. So I just wanted to call in very briefly and just say hi to everyone and just tell you I'm thinking of you guys as well, too.
Appreciate that, man. And what also works is a good bowel movement from time to time. But all that other stuff that you said, too.
Yes.
That does work for me. Yeah, that works for me.
Too. By the way, Les, I wanted to say thank you for personally sending me a bunch of your videos. However, because they were in brown paper wrappers, my wife intercepted them, and now I'm no longer allowed to watch anything above a G rating.
What? Is she just wants them for herself? She likes them that much? She doesn't want to share? Is that what you're saying?
Doing you a favor, Don.
No. She gave them to the neighbors' kids, and I'm a bit concerned about that. So,
hey, okay.
Watch out for the spork video. That one.
Ouch.
Do yourself a favor if you can just find dial tone debutantes, and let me give you a quick rundown. There used to be, before cell phones, there was just a landline telephone system in America for 100 years. Right. And some of these gals, they may have entered the industry young and vibrant, and they were telephone operators. And now many of them, the ones that are still alive, they have passed their prime, but they are still kicking, man. And we've got about 4 or 5 of these gals in this video with me, and we have this patch panel. We call it a patch panel, and what you do is you plug in the cables every time you want to make a call, and that's all I'm going to tell you.
I appreciate that. Now, is that the one that Ricky Schroeder guest starred in?
He was calling up. He was calling up, and then he showed up one day, and he was banging on the warehouse door while we were filming, and he actually caused me to break my concentration a few times, and I needed to get a fluffer in there, but. Ricky, we sent him away. This is bigger than him. He's washed up. He's a has-been. He can go make his own films.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Well, listen, I'm not going to take up too much of the thunder. And, Jackal, I just wanted to say a big salute to you, as always, man. You're just a cool guy, and thanks for letting me call in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother, and I hope you get better soon.
By the way, Cat Elliott's in the chat room waving at you guys, too.
Oh, hi, Cat Elliott.
Kick cereal.
Hello, there you go.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Bye.
And hope you get better soon, man.
Thanks, man.
Don Smith, he's a great guy, that Don Smith. I'm starting to wonder now how exactly he ended up with Bell's palsy, though. Especially now that I know that you sent him a bunch of your videos. Kind of makes sense.
Well, there are disclaimers that says do not try some of these moves at home just because you see the professional stunt people, and I put quotes around stunt people, just because you see the professional stunt people doing that doesn't mean, and we do send you the props in case you do want to try it, but we've got the disclaimer, so we do not take responsibility for what might happen if you do actually stick that in there.
There's things you should try with like artificial hips, but kudos to those girls in the dial tone thing. Replacement hips. Who knew? Yeah,
the sporks that come with the videos.
The sporks.
Good stuff.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Listen, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break here in about a few seconds. If anybody else wants to get in on the phone and call in, please do so. The number is 786-245-8127. We're going to have a lot more with Mr. Les Michaels and Mrs. Zee Michaels, no relation. All right, everybody, welcome back to PSN Radio, SoFlo Radio, and, of course, Soup Media Network welcomes Mr. Les Michaels and Miss Zee Michaels, no relation. To the JAckals.
No, except for that one time. The one time. It was good.
Just once?
Well, no, I mean, that's the only one I can talk about, because I have pictures, I have proof.
There's nothing to talk about. There's no...
She denies it, that's why I need the proof. I've got the
Your mom
photo.
has proof. Or something.
What?
Whoa.
I don't know, man.
Now, Z, look, I have a question here from the chat room. They want to know what kind of trials does UFO Phil and Les Michaels make you go through in order to hire you to become one of their main cast members or cast of characters on the show?
Well, with Phil, because he's my boss. He's my boss. He hired me. I work for him. He has he's trying to build this space camp out here in Big Sur, and he puts me through the paces with the TS-610 that we talked about during one of the webcasts. obstacle courses,
things like that. Tire swing. Sorry, I can't shut up. It's a tire swing.
He calls it the TS610.
It's a tire swing, dude.
He's my boss. I go along with it.
He does call it. I saw the picture of it. It's a tire swing.
It's a tire swing.
Totally.
Space camp, my ass.
But
what do you call it? The TS610? Is that what he calls it?
TS, tire swing. It took me like a while to figure out what the TS stood for, and then it just came to me. I'm like, that's a fucking tire swing.
That's cute, though.
Cute.
That's very cute.
It's cute when you see, though, Zee plays along nicely. She gets in the tire swing, and she wears these cute little sundresses, and she's out there, and it's nice. It's nice. So I support it in that way.
Very nice. Very nice. Les, now, another question from the chat room. They say, in the movie UFO Phil the film, there's a scene where Phil gives a lot of money to a person who was like a bookie or setting up tours. Did Phil, what did that happen to that? Did Phil ever get his money back? Did he lose the money? Did that guy completely jack Phil's money and took off with it?
Complete dick. That guy's a complete ass. And I tried tracking that guy down. Kind of on the side, like Phil didn't know I was trying to get the money back. Mostly because was I able to secure the money, I probably still wouldn't have told him I had it. Because I was broke.
Good plan.
And I lost the guy's trail. I think last I heard, this guy Ted Fox, which was the name he was going by, he had headed off to Thailand with the money, and that was the last I heard.
There you go, Al. That goes to Al Estridge, who's listening in, who wanted to know that question. Interesting. I kind of had a feeling that guy was going to be kind of a dick and jack Phil's money. You could almost tell. I mean, has Phil been taken advantage of by other people like that? I mean, how many times has stuff like that happened to him already? It
tends to happen. He's very good-hearted. He has great intentions, but not everybody else does.
He's dumb. I mean, he's really stupid, and so
not dumb.
It wouldn't be difficult if somebody wanted to. Back when he had money. Before the government came in and stole all of that, plus all my shirts, and I had to get new ones. Phil had lots of money, and people were always showing up there and just living off of him and just eating his food and pretending whenever Phil was in the room, they would pretend to believe in the aliens, but they really didn't.
Like you?
Sure, I guess, but that's not the point. But a lot of people, other people, and they were kind of like getting in on it, and I was one of the first to really ride that train. But I didn't take advantage because I'm giving him a place to live now, so it's all okay.
Now, I mean, is Phil, seeing a psychologist at all? Is there anybody professionally helping him? Because I mean, the way you guys make it sound, he really is not playing with a full deck.
No, he's crazy.
He's not crazy.
I think that he's seen therapists off and on, but there was this one therapist up in Spokane I know he was seeing, and he had so much money, the therapist came to live at the compound, and then the therapist just started pretending to believe in the UFOs. So that didn't really help his mental condition. That was sort of an enabler situation there.
Huh. You wouldn't you wouldn't be an enabler yourself, right, Leslie? I mean, you wouldn't.
No, because he doesn't really have any money anymore. He doesn't have any money anymore, so there's not much in it for me.
So, well, that's a good point. Now, what's in the future for Les Michaels? I mean, is your role going to stay the way it is now with the show, the UFO Phil show on Stickam, or are you going to, evolve and kind of, push UFO Phil aside a little bit and kind of evolve yourself and be the main host?
Well, I mean, let's be clear. It's my mansion here in Pebble Beach, California.
It's actually not. It's Phil's.
You can see the golf course and Clint Eastwood playing golf, and so I'm setting myself up for a lot of
things. Sir, it's not Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach.
You can't see.
We got the AT&T Pro-Am coming up here pretty soon, and a lot of celebrities are going to be right outside the door here. And I intend to network. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you got Kevin Costner, you got all the greats, you know what I mean? And they come out here and they play. And basically, as soon as I can network and get myself into a better situation, right now I'm kind of, Phil, I keep Phil around. He's like the mascot. You know what I mean?
You're just making shit up at this point, dude.
He's like the mascot. People, he has.
Is he really Zee, or because he sounds pretty convincing to me?
And we're not really, we discussed this in the webcast. Phil called you out for, making shit up. He said it more nicely than me, but he said we need to stop calling it Pebble Beach and a mansion and whatever. It's Big Sur. It's a rundown like commune or motel or something back in the day.
There's
That's not cool.
Look, we had, when I first bought the mansion here, the guy who lived here before didn't take very good care of it. Nicolas Cage. I'll just say it. I'll be honest. Nicolas Cage, he had to get out from under the mortgage, and he was having some crazy parties. He was swinging his golf clubs around. He busted a few windows out. So it did need a few repairs. I hear he's a
party animal. I have heard this about him. He is a party animal.
That's what I'm saying, man. You know, and we partied a little bit, you know, had some chicks over and stuff, and we had some fun. And
good times.
Yeah, no, it was cool. But now he's gone, and he won't return my phone calls. Fuck him. I don't need him. But there's a couple windows broken out.
Does he have a restraining order against you for, like, crashing one of his parties or something?
That's not Nicolas Cage, though.
No, that's, who was that, Lisa Marie Presley?
You read about that?
I did. You want to talk about that a little bit?
No, not so much.
I don't think he's at liberty to discuss that.
Yeah, no. She's a stalker.
Is there a court order still?
Yeah, they got the. See, what ended up happening was, I tried to file a she's a stalker. I tried to file a restraining order against Lisa Marie Presley because what has she got going?
I heard about that. Yeah. That's how she got Michael Jackson in the sack. She was stalking him for years.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that the judge stamped the wrong paper and filed the wrong shit, and then now there's a restraining order against me somehow. Same thing that happened with the Heather Locklear deal, and it's just not cool, man. Like how the paperwork could get so fucked up that I've got 3 restraining orders now when I shouldn't have any. You know,
it was like 5.
5? How does that happen?
Why? How do you?
I have no idea.
Why do you do that, Zee? Why do you do that?
Honestly, 5. It's the best
Hold on,
policy.
we've got 3 already. Who is 4 and 5 here? What other actresses are we talking about here?
I don't. There's a couple of guys that.
Ricky Schroeder's still mad at you.
Let's not talk about Ricky Schroeder.
Ricky Schroeder,
guy's a hack. Guy's a hack. The guy's a hack. He's been following me around.
He wasn't NYPD Blue though.
It doesn't make him a cop.
No, but he was convincing.
Look, I'll say it. He showed up here flashing his badge, and
is that a euphemism?
Well, that's the only thing he had on. It was a badge, and I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And I had to call the cops, the real cops, and then these assholes show up, and they're like, "You're under arrest. Hey, you're Ricky Schroeder. Hey, loved you in NYPD Blue." They start getting buddy with him, getting pictures, autographs. Ricky Schroeder didn't have any clothes on, and these guys are taking pictures with him. And next thing you know, I'm getting toted off to county jail. Like, how does that work?
Because it's Ricky Schroeder, man. He was in Silver Spoons. You got to understand. He
gets a pass. I was in Silver Spoons. He rode my coattails. Like, you don't even remember me. I was in Silver Spoons before Ricky Schroeder was. I was the original kid in the pilot.
So what happened with that? Because you were in the pilot, but then they replaced you with Ricky Schroeder. How did that happen? Why did you get replaced with Schroeder?
Schroeder, he had abs. He was only like 8 years old, and he had abs. I don't know how he did it. He's 8 years old, and he had abs.
They probably had him on the steroids at 8 years old.
Yeah, the kidroids. He was totally kidroiding up, and they said, we're looking for an 8-year-old with abs. And so then they recast me as like the quirky neighbor next door. The kid with the hair. They called the kid with the hair. And I was in a couple episodes here and there, and then they just sort of didn't call me anymore. So it really sucked, man, and I wish you wouldn't bring it up anymore, man.
That is a bummer. That is a bummer. So we got Ricky Schroeder out of the way. Now, who is the 5th victim?
Oh, you're still talking about the restraining order?
I want to know who the 5th one is. We got up to 4 now. Who's the 5th?
I just really don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to the restraining order anymore? No?
Why? I don't really even talk to her anymore. I mean...
But let's come clean. I think she's even listening.
When's the last time anyone even heard from Monica Lewinsky? It's like, what are you doing now that you're going to try and ride my coattails by getting a restraining order against me and get yourself into the limelight again? And, all because I wouldn't put her in, in the strangulation videos that I do, the ones down in L.A.
Monica listens to the show a lot, and I'm pretty sure she's.
I love her. She's great.
She is great, isn't she? She does great things with dresses.
I just wish that she didn't do the restraining order thing, because I love her. And every time I show up and ring the doorbell, she sends the dude out with the copy of the restraining order, and then I end up with like broken shit, and I just want to tell her I love her, and she doesn't listen.
You've had a hard love life in the last.
I've had a hard life, period, man. I've had a hard life going back to the adoption. I mean, no one ever asked me the adoption when I adopted that teenage girl like 2 years ago.
Let's talk about that. You adopted a teenage girl. How old was this teenage girl?
Teenager.
Like what?
I think they call that
17?
human trafficking.
I just wanted to be I just wanted to...
Was she was this girl Chinese by any chance?
What does that have to do with it?
Come on, Les. We know where you're getting these women.
That has nothing to do with anything. She was Russian. But the point of the matter is I could not give birth myself, and I wanted a child. And it's hard to get newborns, you know. It's hard to get newborns when you want to adopt, so sometimes you have to go for the older children.
Yeah, but
anyway, it didn't work out.
In their teens?
19.
And where is this 19-year-old girl you're adopted now?
Where is she now?
Where's she now?
Well, she gave her notice, 2 weeks notice, and she quit.
What do you mean she quit? She can't quit being your adopted daughter.
Well, I don't know. I mean, technically on paper, I think she was my employee, but I really had this...
Is that mail order bride thing?
But yeah, but to make it all on the up and up, but to make it all legal, you had to form a corporation and hire an employee, because otherwise it starts getting sketchy and then the feds get involved. So she was... What did I say? Did I use the word adoption again?
Yes.
Yeah, you said the adoption.
No, so what I meant was when I hired the...
mail order bride.
The seamstress... I hired the seamstress to make my shirts and my pants, and she worked for me for a little while, and then she gave 2 weeks' notice, and she quit.
That whore.
And she took all my father.
I have to wonder, though. Les, if you had this much of an opportunity to adopt a child, and you really wanted to have a child, why didn't you try to adopt a younger child? Why did you...
Well, no,
settle on such an older child.
But that would just be creepy.
What, a grown man adopting a baby or a 2-year-old?
What do you take me for? I didn't adopt anyway. Don't stop using that word. I didn't.
You're the one that said adopt.
No, it's a corporation, and I hired an employee. 19-year-old Russian girl.
We'll leave it at that. But listen, moving on, we have a couple questions here from the chat room. They want to know about some of your movie roles that you've not actually gotten in the last 10 years that you really regret not going out for. They want to know of a couple roles that you might have in your mind that you were offered and you didn't take, and you kind of regret not taking them.
Well, I mean, obviously they came to me before they went to Robert Downey Jr. for the Iron Man stuff, and I just didn't feel that character was developed enough for me. And I'm not going to say I totally regret it, because I like where my career has taken me now. And I would, some of the opportunities that I have now would not have presented themselves, with the debutantes and everything that I'm doing now. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
I can see you as a Tony Stark, definitely.
For sure. And we are going to be making a parody version of that with the company that I'm making films with.
Iron Kung Fu.
What are you going to call it?
Man?
There you go.
No, it's not called Iron Kung Fu Grip Man.
Iron Cock. No, wait. Anyway, moving on.
What do you guys think? What kind of movies do you think I make, The Jackal?
I don't want to answer that on air. There might be kids listening.
How do you know I'm not making children's TV shows? What do you think I'm doing?
That's not how children are supposed to use sporks.
So you have watched.
And
Zee.
There you go.
You project them on the walls.
She pretends to be asleep. She snores, and she's actually watching the videos. She doesn't want me to know.
Vomiting quietly.
You saw that one too. Vomiting quietly 12. Yeah, we're up to number 12 in that series. Vomiting quietly. Great. Got some really good bonus features. We're trying to develop a 3D version for Vomiting Quietly 13 for the Samsung 3D TV.
I will not be purchasing that. I'm just telling you that right now.
No, I'll give you a free copy, man.
Oh, okay. Well, can you autograph it for me? That'd be nice.
I'll do better than that. Yeah, I will put something special in there for you.
Oh, you do that, my friend. You guys
I'll have to vacuum pack it, though. I will have to vacuum pack it. So that
you guys in California get the good stuff, I hear.
It is technically that which you speak of. It is available, yeah. If people are into that, but that would be wrong.
Well, we'll talk about that off air, though. You and I. Well, we'll chat later privately.
Yeah, but, normally wouldn't. Have done
moving on.
Stuff,
yeah. No, neither do I. Anyway, moving on. So what in the near future here holds for you two? I mean, are you going to continue doing the show on stickam, and what do you have coming out besides the whole thing with UFO Phil and the pyramids? Is there anything else you want to, promote that you guys have upcoming?
Well, the big thing really is that UFO Phil's got this big announcement coming. I don't know exactly what day he's going to announce it. I think he's maybe planning to save it for Coast to Coast, maybe next time he talks to George Norrie. I think he's planning sometime in February to tell George Norrie and the world of his plans. I've seen some of what he's got going, and this crap is going to be ridiculous.
It's not crap.
And
Phil really believes it.
Phil does believe it. The things that he wants to build next are, and the way that he is going to go about trying to achieve it, it's shockingly stupid and ridiculous, but this has the potential of even being bigger than his pyramid scheme. And so we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I mean, I'm going to hang out and wait.
You personally, Les Michaels, what do you have?
If Phil gets a lot of attention, then I'm gonna try and
ride his coattails.
I wouldn't have said it that way.
That's not a real nice way to put it now, but
no, I mean, the thing is that I've got a lot of talent, but for some reason I don't get as much attention as Phil does sometimes. And so if he happens to get a little attention coming his way from the media or whatever, gets splashed all over TV or wherever, Huffington Post, whatever it is, I try and get a little bit of that shine over on Les Michaels and, use it for the betterment of my career as well. I've got it coming for all the years I've, given to him and to his projects. Other than that, more of the paper cut videos. Those are good ones. You don't laugh.
It is pretty funny.
It's not funny. It's not a comedy. It's
still pretty
if
funny.
Anything, it would be a romantic comedy. But there's no place in there where you would laugh. It's all very deep, meaningful love stuff.
Paper cut 3, Salt in the Wound. That's not
Salt in the Womb. WOMB.
Oh, that's even worse.
Paper cut 3, Salt in the Womb. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? The salt rolls off the tongue.
It does. Kind of does roll off the tongue. Now, what's George's relationship with UFO Phil at this point? He's been talking to him for a long time. What's their relationship like?
Man, if you figure that out, let me know. Why does he take his calls? George Norrie seems like a reasonable guy. He's got a lot of experience in broadcast and television, and he used to be like a TV news guy. You'd think he'd be a pretty smart guy. Why doesn't he just hang up the phone when Phil calls? You tell me.
Because Phil's very likable.
He is. He's very likable. He is.
I like him a lot.
Man, he doesn't have any hair.
Like I said, bald is beautiful.
Somebody, mentioned recently when they heard that I was, going to have you guys on, and they had heard the UFO Phil episode when he was on the show, and they said that that Phil reminds them of modern day Pee Wee Herman. Is that a fair comparison?
Pee Wee Herman was entertaining. Phil, just crazy. I mean, Pee Wee Herman, like Paul Rubens, that was an act. Phil really believes this crap, and he's nuts. As far as I know, Paul Rubens. Yeah, he might like to masturbate in Sarasota, Florida, but I don't think he's crazy. I think he just likes to have fun.
Who gets turned on in Sarasota, Florida?
Have you been to Sarasota, Florida?
I've been to Sarasota, Florida.
And you didn't get turned on?
No.
Well, you won't watch Nurse Nancy. You got to watch Nurse Nancy. You got to get the whole. That's the film. You go. Yeah. Well, she just don't understand. You don't understand that particular genre of film. I like Paul Reubens. I think he's cool. I'm actually working on trying to get him in one of my movies. I think it'd be cool.
That would be interesting. Another question from the chat room here. They want to know how Nigel is fitting in with the new announcement.
With the new what?
Announcement.
Oh, the thing. Yeah, he's got security detail because they're actually worried about death threats for Phil because when this announcement comes up, let's just put it this way: the announcement is going to be of the level that he is going to need 24/7 protection by a team of bodyguards. Yeah.
Are you ready for this kind of public awareness of UFO Phil?
Bring on the chick.
Like Zee said, you're riding his coattails. I mean, you're going to be right there with him. Are you ready for the attention?
I'm ready to help fend off the women. I'll be there.
I think you'll repel plenty of people. We may not need such a tight security detail after all.
That's mean.
The smells from your work alone are enough to clear a radius.
What?
Wow.
You bring me an audience, and I will, will give them something they've never seen before. If Phil can be stupid and do his thing and get attention, and then those people come, and when they realize Phil's ridiculous, then they look to their left and they see Les Michaels there, and they go, now what about this guy? And then they see what I have to offer under the trench coat, and then I open the trench coat, and not only do they see my goods, but they see my DVDs and Blu-rays hanging there on the inside layers of my coat, and then they start buying them with cash money. We're good to go. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
Huh. I don't know if the world is ready for that. That's a scary thought. You with a trench coat.
It is new, therefore they fear it. But I think
there's plenty to fear. Well, maybe not much to fear, but you know what I mean.
What do you want me to say?
Scary thought. It's just a scary thought. Thinking of Les Michaels with a trench coat and a bunch of DVDs inside of them. That's scary.
They're not inside of me. They're in the coat.
I know they're inside of the coat. I know. But when you open the coat, is there any other clothing under there?
No. What would be the point of that?
That's exactly the scary part right there. That's a scary thought right there. That whole thought pattern. I wish I could erase from my head right now. But moving on, because I really want to move on from that image.
Yes, please.
It's a scary image. Oh, geez. How does Phil feel when he hears Les talk about him like this? I mean, does he get angry?
He just says that Les is probably just in a bad mood because of the influence from the bad aliens, or maybe Les has eaten too much red or something like that. So he lets it kind of roll off his back. He's got pretty thick skin.
He seems like he does have pretty thick skin. Les has pretty thick skin also, and well, at least has a trench coat over it though. But listen, guys, we're almost out of time here. It's been just awesome having you on the show here on the Jackal's Head for a full hour. Thank you so much for being on the show. I know you guys are over on the West Coast. It's a little bit earlier for you, so it's not that much of a sacrifice. But thank you anyway. I really do appreciate having you guys on here for a full hour. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man. Next time, I would like some intro music for me. Something that mentions how sexy I am. Just get that hooked up, and we'll be good to go. Otherwise, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Definitely. You know that song by Right Said Fred?
That's the one.
That's your theme. That's the one, right?
Yeah. That's it.
That's the one. You have it. No problem. Next time you will have that. Guys, thank you for being on the show.